Portland to head for the Lakers or the New York Knicks in one of those larger markets. If that were to happen, because that's a reality, rather, you have a situation where Magic Johnson could either continue trying to do business with the San Antonio Spurs to acquire Kawhi Leonard or say, bump it. You know what? I'll wait until next summer when Kawhi is an unrestricted free agent, free to come with us. And now I'll turn my attention to Damian Lillard, who has 3 years left on his deal. And maybe the same assets we were going to offer San Antonio, we can now offer to the Portland Trail Blazers in return for the services of a Damian Lillard. And those players would include Alonzo Ball. It would include Brandon Ingram. It would include Josh Hart, maybe even a pick for Damian Lillard. So stay tuned. There's a lot going on right now. We'll see how things unfold.
All right, you mentioned Dame. It was my next question. A fan asked him on Twitter if he'd be happy to join the Lakers and LeBron, and he tweeted back, I'm typically a happy camper. What are the chances Dame pushes to get out of Portland and go to L.A.?
Well, again, it's a difficult situation to surmise because on one hand, Damian Lillard is incredibly happy. Not only is he making in excess of $27 million over the next 3 years, keep in mind that when you take into endorsement that he is the face of that franchise and the face, essentially, of basketball in the Pacific Northwest. So you're talking about him getting anywhere from $40 to $47 million annually coming in. He ain't broke. He doesn't need the money. He's getting paid handsomely, and he's the star out there. So he doesn't mind being out there at all. The problem is Portland has been to the playoffs the last 5 straight years, but they've been bounced out in the first round 3 of those 5 years, including the last 2 years. And when he gets on the phone with the Jimmy Butlers of the world and others, they've made it very, very clear, we love Damian Lillard. You're our brother. We got nothing but love and respect for you. We'd love to play for you, but it ain't too many of us that's willing to come out to the Pacific Northwest and play in Portland. That's the only reason why Damian Lillard would want to move on from there. So since he's willing to move on from there, if indeed they can't get other parts, Portland's under the gun to either deliver him some assets so they can improve and not get swept by the likes of Anthony Davis and the New Orleans Pelicans, or they could move him, make C.J. McCollum the face of the franchise because they could get some instrumental parts for the services of Damian Lillard. It's in Portland's hands because they have him locked in for the next 3 years. They do not want to lose him. They love him, but they recognize the fact that if they can't improve the team, it might be best for them to make a move. Whatever that move is remains to be seen.
Stephen A. Smith, thank you, brother.
All right.
Now that they've added 4-time All-Star Rajon Rondo, LeVar Ball told CNN that Lonzo, I love that LeVar told everyone, that Lonzo's the starter and Ronzo is the backup. But Stephen A., in all seriousness, should Lonzo be the Lakers starting point guard?
It's possible because let's say, for example, hypothetically speaking, or actually not hypothetically speaking, let's say, for example, that the Lakers decide to shift gears and go away from Kawhi Leonard and pursue Damian Lillard. Why would they need Lonzo Ball? That's the question mark. They wouldn't need him. Now, be very, very clear. The Lakers are incredibly fond of Lonzo Ball. He can play. He's got an upside, as Max has pointed out accurately. He needs to work on his jump shot. We've seen pictures of him where he's clearly getting bigger and what have you. But they were alarmed at how small he was, obviously so. His lack of assertiveness certainly concerned them throughout the season. They would need more from him. And if you go about the business of attracting Rondo, who should have been in New Orleans, by the way, they should have taken care of him. And you've got Rondo, not to mention you acquire Damian Lillard. That changes everything. All of a sudden you have a deal on the table where you're talking about an Ingram, a Kuzma, a Josh Hart, who the Lakers love, by the way. He could defend multiple positions. He could shoot the 3, shot 39% from three-point range. My man John Ireland at ESPN LA, Max, your former colleague there, he was talking to me about this a few hours ago. They absolutely love themselves some Josh Hart.
Shot over 40% from 3, yeah.
That's right. They love Josh Hart. So when you consider his size, his ability to defend at multiple positions, all right, the upside, it was Jay Wright, my man at Villanova, his all-time favorite player. When you consider consider what he brings to the table, and you combine that with Ingram, and then you add Lonzo, and you're talking about a first-round pick, if you're the Portland Trailblazers and Neil O'Shea, you may be willing to entertain such a thing. So it's definitely not beyond the realm of possibility that Rondo could be starting. Not that it would happen, because if you got Damian Lillard, he certainly ain't starting ahead of Damian Lillard. But it's certainly not beyond the realm of possibility that Rondo could be a Laker come season opener, and Lonzo may not. Matter of fact, you've got some people out there, and Bill Plaschke, again, the voice of LA for the LA Times, told me earlier today, Max, he is of the belief that the news was leaked out by Lonzo's camp about Lonzo's meniscus injury specifically for the purposes to derail a potential trade. Because in his mind, he believes there's fear out of Lonzo Ball's camp that Lonzo could be moved out of L.A. So putting this out there might quell interest in Lonzo and stall things so he can end up in Lakers camp come training camp and take it from there. This is the kind of stuff Bill Plaschke was saying. So I'm just saying that all of that stuff is going on right now, which leads me to believe Lonzo in the air, up in the air right now, is definitely something that's very, very real.
Well, I mean, if the question is should Lonzo start or come off the bench, as the roster is currently constructed, Lonzo should come off the bench because Rondo is better than Lonzo right now. Rajon Rondo is not only a brilliant guy referred to as a basketball genius and just a genius, but he's a studious, industrious player. You know, he's like having an extra coach on the floor. He studies every aspect of the game. So it's not just that he's very smart, but he applies it thoroughly. And that kind of stuff is what a younger player needs to see. But beyond all of that, right now, Rondo's a better player than Lonzo. So why wouldn't you put him out on the floor? And if the answer is you want to develop Lonzo, great, Lonzo. Go take that starting job away from that vet. Go do that. Nothing wrong with that. It's not a knock against Lonzo, who's already a super precocious and excellent player considering his age. You know, like the only thing he doesn't do way beyond his years is shoot. But he's a brilliant passer with amazing court vision and incredible passing skills. He's a very good rebounder for his position. He's a good defender already, considering his age especially. He can do it. The ball doesn't stick with him. He's excellent in many ways, just can't shoot. But that don't mean, and his learning, like, you know, where he may wind up can be a great place. But right now, today, he's the second best point guard on the team, Max. So he should come off the bench.
Question, Max.
Yep.
Considering all the things you just said about Lonzo, the one thing we'll never confuse Rondo with is being a great shooter. He's got everything else, and he raises his game come postseason time when it counts. I love me some Rajon Rondo. But what does it say to you that the Lakers went out and acquired him of all people when you have Lonzo?
Well, I mean, I'll say this. They want to surround LeBron with tough-minded players, with players who can create, who, you know, this was on ESPN.com. Ramona Shelburne and Brian Windhorst have this article up there now. Players who can create, not just shoot.
But that's not what I'm asking you.
LeBron's game is going to have to evolve now to have longevity. But beyond that, Stephen A., I would say Rondo's an underrated shooter. If you look at his three-point percentage over the last 4 or 5 seasons now, he's averaging about 35%, only taking 2 a game.
I got it. We got to go.
And
we got to go, but I don't think you didn't answer my question. You got to go, but you didn't answer my question. I was asking about Rondo as opposed to Lonzo. Well, what you said about Lonzo. Why would you go out and get Rondo when Rondo is essentially the same? Just more experience.
He's a better shooter than I'm saying. 35% from 3 over seasons and seasons.
They ain't get Rondo because of shooting. They ain't get Rondo because of shooting.
No, but he can do it better than advertised.
And they don't have to worry about his family going on CNN and discussing his where he falls on the depth chart.
That's a better answer, Molly. It's a better answer, Molly.
All right, guys.
It's a much better answer than what Max did.
And he helps
Joel
his teammates.
Embiid, one of the best follows on Twitter. He is back at it again. This time, he's targeting LeBron James. I'll tell you what he said next. All right, we all know Joel Embiid is a good time on Twitter, but the question is, did he go too far, fellas? Embiid tweeting this. Well, the NBA is nuts, and also the best league, LMAO. There's still time to change your mind, LOL, obviously talking to LeBron. Let's pull a DeAndre and trust it. Max, do you feel like he's getting disrespectful with this tweet towards LeBron?
Yeah, but no, I mean, like, not too disrespectful. It's perfect. Joel Embiid is a monster on Twitter. He might be the best there is on Twitter. His tweets are almost always hilarious. They always like capture the zeitgeist, exactly what's going on at the moment. Even the way they're formatted. Remember the way he tweeted about Rihanna breaking and everything?
Yes.
And even what he put in all caps was perfect. I really think, like, you ever join a fantasy league, football or baseball fantasy league, whatever, and you look at the names of the team in the league because you know who's going to be good based on the names. The smart people, the ones who are good at it, will have hilarious names, right? You know, I got to watch for that person. That person's smart. That's a good name. That's Joel Embiid. Like, I'd like to know what his IQ is. The fact that this guy picked up basketball when he was 15 and is already this good in terms of his subtle skill. Even just the way he tweets, like, I want to know what Joel Embiid's IQ is. It's perfect. These tweets are perfect. Exactly right. He joins the Lakers. The Lakers made all these signings that don't seem right to people. There's still time to change your mind. Come on, it's perfect.
It's perfect for you because your definition of mediocrity and other things are entirely different than mine, as we all know. But my attitude is very, very simple. It's not perfect for me, Max, and I'll tell you something why. Maybe, Joel Embiid, if you worked on playing with your back to the basket instead of trying to face the basket all the time, you'd be even more dominant than the 22 and 11 that you averaged last year indicated. This is a big-time brother who can play the game of basketball. I love myself some Joel Embiid just as much as you do, Max, and I'm not trying to malign him. I'm simply trying to say, Joel Embiid, you are on the verge of greatness. Ben Simmons is a jump shot away from being LeBron James 2.0. You don't really need LeBron James as much as you think if you do what you're supposed to do. So rather than clamoring for the best player in the world to put on your jersey and join Philadelphia, how about you work on your game to elevate your stature? You missed 30, you missed 51 games the year before. You missed 9 games this last season. It's nice to see you playing again.
Stephen A, wait, time out. He did claim he's going to win MVP next season too, guys, by the way.
All I'm trying to say is that I'm not interested. I'm not all over the place. I'm saying I'm not interested in you clamoring. I understand it, but I'm not interested in it. What I'm interested in is Joel Embiid being big time like he is and saying, damn LeBron James, I'm coming for all of y'all because he's got the skills to do it.
Hold on. He is. Wait a minute. That is a mischaracterization. He is. Joel Embiid is the guy saying, yeah, I guess we could use LeBron because right now he's the best player in the game. In other words,
if that was the case, he wouldn't be having this debate.
He's already saying
if
he's
that was the debate, we wouldn't be having this debate.
Well,
if that was it, we wouldn't be having this debate.
No. Everyone knows that the reason Philadelphia really probably wasn't going to be with LeBron, part of it is what about Embiid? How would he handle that? Because Ben Simmons and LeBron, same representation, that might have worked. The point is, Embiid is everything you say. The reason he doesn't post up more is because he can also shoot, but he can post.
That is not the reason he doesn't post up more. That is not the reason he doesn't post up more. That's not his strength. Have you spoken to the Sixers staff? Of course we do. I'm just saying he's great, but he could work on his back to the basket game. That's not a fact. He can't work on his back to the basket game.
LeBron's help because he don't think he can get it done.
Guys,
that's not why he's asking.
This is fun.
Way to avoid the question.
But we got to go. Maybe he needs to focus on Boston, right? Coming up, Stephen A. will tell you why it is not a foregone conclusion that Carmelo Anthony will play with the Thunder this season. Stay here. So we were off this morning and Stephen A. was watching First Take and responded to a Ryan Hollins take with the following quote. With all due respect, Ryan Hollins, you're on First Take. I know you're sitting in Kellerman's chair, so contamination is a possibility. But answer the question first. Don't hedge your bets by trying to give an explanation before answering. Stop being scared. Answer the question. Well, Hollins responded today. Check it out.
Stephen A. Smith, you are a legend in the game. I love and respect what you do, brother. You open the door for guys like me. I appreciate the talks that we've had. But if you get in the ring with me, I'm going to push your hairline back even more. You're going to have a Steve Harvey, brother. Wait. Any time that you want it, come and get it.
Well, here's the problem. First of all, he lacks appreciation. Not just from his, the fact that he was able to sit in that chair, which was a very lucky and big moment for him, but the fact that there was somebody that actually heard what he had to say. Because how could you listen to him with him wearing that damn Velcro suit on?
Oh,
with that hot
you
weather?
thought it was loud?
I mean, that loud suit that suffocated. I mean, the suit alone suffocated you and blocked you from hearing anything that he had to say. So, I mean, the fact that I even were able to decipher his words, he should appreciate that. Because Lord knows he needed all the help he could get with that suit on.
The best part, Stephen A., is you tagged the wrong Ryan Hollins, so you apologize to the other Ryan.
That's why I tagged the wrong dude. 7 foot, a 7 foot, minute, bowl-built Santa Claus. That's what he looked like.
Real quick, I need to know. Did Ryan Hollins win all the debates today? Because in other words, is that seat still undefeated on the show?
Molly, I don't know if you know this, but you actually have to debate to win one. And we know Max doesn't do that much.
My God. Max stands out L's. You know the tagline. All right, guys. The Thunder became the first NBA team with a payroll of over $300 million unless OKC finds a way to shed some salary. They'll have to pay $150 million in luxury tax this season after picking up his player option for the season. Melo is owed $27.9 million. Now, if the Thunder decide to cut him or buy him out, they'll save almost $100 million because of that luxury tax. Stephen A., what should they do? Should they cut him?
Well, first of all, yeah, you should work out a buyout, and Melo should get the hell up out of there and join LeBron James. It's as simple as that. Props to the Thunder for finally spending those dollars. They've spent it in the past, but not when they needed to. But they're daily doing that now. But Carmelo should join LeBron ASAP.
I co-sign. I mean, Carmelo, you saw LeBron play with Carmelo in the Olympics. And Carmelo was frequently used as the scorer on that team. LeBron would bring out the best in Carmelo, and it would be a chance for Carmelo to kind of rewrite the script of his career late in his career. I totally agree with Stephen A. I think that's the best move for all involved, for the Thunder, for the Lakers, for Carmelo, and for LeBron.
He's also made it clear, guys, let's not forget that he doesn't want to come off the bench. And he made that perfectly clear with OKC this past season. All right, that'll do it for us. Max Kellerman, Stephen A. Smith. I'm Molly Karam. Now it's time for SportsCenter. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for hanging with us.